Cafe in New York City DM'd me saying they love my content and they want me to go in and try their new French toast.
My God, you guys, a small business wouldn't give me free stuff and I'm literally shaking.
A popular influencer in New York is being called out for calling out a small restaurant because of a toast. Let's talk about it. Hey beautiful people, how you all doing today? It's your girl Destiny here and welcome to my channel. How have you all been? Hope you guys are doing great. So today's video is a video of a popular influencer in New York. He does food reviews and all that, and restaurant reviews and all that. And apparently he was reached out by this restaurant that does toast and drinks and all that. And the restaurant, like, you know what, please come check out our restaurant and make a review. And he went ahead to send them his rate. Don't worry, we'll get to how much this content creator is charging for coming to a restaurant to review a restaurant. And the restaurant reached back and like, you know what, no, sorry, we can't afford this. And that's it. And then the influencer like, you know what, I'll still come to a restaurant. If the food is good, I'll probably do a story. And they said, okay. So the influencer asked, can I come with a +1? And they said, you know what, feel free to come with your friends. We can only offer one meal and a drink. And the influencer still went ahead to go to this restaurant. And that's when what goes down, which we're going to get into in the stories time. And also we're going to hear how much this influencer charges to come to a restaurant to review a restaurant. Anyway, guys, let's go check out this story time that this influencer did. And he came back later to clear up some things about his story. But also another popular food influencer decided to reach out to this restaurant and got more details on how much this influencer were charging and why they and what happened that made the influencer to walk out of that restaurant and came to call them out when he got home. Anyway, guys, let's go check out this video and then we'll come back and talk more.
Cafe in New York City DM'd me saying they love my content and they want me to go in and try their new French toast. I gave them my rate and they said they didn't have money for it, so I told them that I'd go in and try it, and if I like it, I might post a few stories. I asked if they could accommodate a guest and add another food item and a drink, and they said they couldn't afford it. I should have known there was gonna be an issue when I heard that, but I did not catch the red flag. We confirmed the date, and on the day I went in, I told the staff that I came in because I was invited. The barista walks to the back to talk to the owner, and then she comes back and tell me that I should have came yesterday. I showed her the messages I had with the cafe, and it clearly said I was supposed to come in today at 2 p.m. She goes back to the kitchen to talk to the owner, and when she gets back, she tells me that they can't serve me. Mind you, I came in just to try a French toast and one drink. They couldn't even afford a second French toast or a drink that would have cost them maybe like $5. I asked them what's the reason since it's already been confirmed, and they didn't give me an explanation, so I just walked out and went to another place. I thought I'd be nice and do them a favor and commute 40 minutes to go try this stupid French toast. This turned out to be one of the worst experiences I've ever had. So some people seem to think that it's my fault that I was contacted by this cafe and invited to try the French toast, but when I show up at the confirmed time and date, they decide they don't want to serve me anymore. So I'm going to show you guys some screenshots. It seems like there are some people with poor reading skills, so let me read this to you. This says, we'd be happy to offer it on the house and you're more than welcome to bring a +1. And in the second message, they're telling me they can't afford 2 French toasts since they're a small cafe, but they told me to bring a guest. So did they want me to share a drink with my guest? That would be absurd. Here's the apology they sent me. This has nothing to do with whether I can or cannot afford a French toast on my own. It's the fact that they contacted me first. I didn't reach out for anything free. As you saw in the screenshot, they told me it would be on the house, but when I arrived, they didn't serve me. I still don't know the reason, but I assume it's because the owner's cheap as hell. Honestly, I just wanted to be nice and do a small business a favor, but that backfired. Cafe in New York City DM'd me saying they love my content and they want me to go in and try their new French toast.
I asked if they could accommodate a guest and add another food item and a drink, and they said they couldn't afford it. She goes back to the kitchen to talk to the owner, and when she gets back, she tells me
that they can't serve me. It would have cost them maybe like $5. That's to be one of the worst experiences I've ever had.
Oh my God, you guys, a small business wouldn't give me free stuff and I'm literally shaking. But seriously, did you miss the part where they said they couldn't afford this before you showed up with your friend? And if they're cheap for not compensating your $5 French toast, what does that make you for not just paying for it? I have 3 times as many followers as this guy, and I have never once even thought to ask for free stuff. And before you tell me the cafe shouldn't have messaged him asking him for a promo, maybe he shouldn't claim to be doing this to support small businesses.
Honestly, I just wanted to be nice and do a small business a favor, but that backfired.
Come with me to address an influencer who accused me of lying. I posted a video about how this guy threw a New York City small business under the bus because they wouldn't give him free food. He and his followers blasted me, accusing me of misrepresenting the situation. I am absolutely petty as so I reached out to the cafe myself for screenshots. I'm gonna post them here. You can pause the video to read them, but I will summarize them for you. They reached out to him offering to comp his meal in exchange for content, and he replies asking for $4,000. They say they can't afford that, but he's welcome to stop by anyways, at which point he says he will. He then proceeds to ask for at least 2 food items and 2 drinks to be compensated, and doesn't even promise a story in exchange for it. The cafe replies and says the best that they could, an operative word here is could do, is 1 drink and 1 food item, but he's welcome to stop by casually anyways. He then proceeds to show up with his friend anyways, expecting for his food to be compensated, at which point they say no, he goes home and then makes a video calling them out. He also calls their food ass and calls the ownership cheap. Well, it turns out that this place actually makes their French toast in-house from scratch. I'm gonna tag them below because I highly encourage everyone in New York City to support this small business. I'm gonna be stopping by there next week and paying for my meal myself.
Did you guys see this?
Tried their new French toast. I gave them my rate and they said they didn't have money for it, so I told them that I'd go in and try it, and if I like it, I might post a few stories. I asked if they could accommodate a guest and add another food item and a drink, and they said they couldn't afford it. I should have known there was going to be an issue when I heard that, but I did not catch the red flag. We confirmed the date, and on the day I went in, I told the staff that I came in because I was invited. The barista walks to the back to talk to the owner, and then she comes back and tells me that I should have came yesterday. I showed her the messages I had with the cafe, and it clearly said I was supposed to come in today at 2 p.m. She goes back to the kitchen to talk to the owner, and when she gets back, she tells me that they can't serve me. Mind you, I came in just to try a French toast and 1 drink. They couldn't even afford a second French toast or a drink that would have cost them maybe like $5. I asked them what's the reason since it's already been confirmed, and they didn't give me an explanation, so I just walked out and went to another place.
Let me tell you something. I have worked in the New York City hospitality space for over 6 or 7 years, and that is anywhere from a cafe to a fast casual place to a fine dining establishment. I've worked them all. And when I tell you that restaurants have a certain amount of stuff that they can give away for free, regardless of who you are. Because, you show appreciation to the people that appreciate your business. I can even tell you the amount of times I've given something away for free because someone was being nice to me on a very shitty day. Your shitty attitude and your self-entitlement is why they didn't want to serve you. Because guess what? They didn't agree on your rate. Why did you still go in? Don't come here with the guise that you have some form of altruism to you, that you want to support New York City businesses, where you're coming in there with your friend expecting free shit after they said no to you because you wanted to charge $4,000 for one of your posts. I'm sorry, is one of your posts bringing in $4,000 worth of French toast? This being the worst experience you've ever had in New York City dining? Wow. I wish that was my worst experience I've ever had. You know what? I'm glad this is blowing up, and I'm glad that Dottie Snacks called you out for it, because you know what's happening? You're giving people more reasons to go back to that restaurant, because $5 for a homemade French toast seems like a pretty good deal to me.
So I have a message for Vincent. I'm not sure how to say your whole username correctly, so I'm just going to call you Vincent for the rest of the video. You are annoying, entitled, and have zero self-awareness, or you're just really good at rage bait. I'm actually leaning towards the latter. People like you are horrible byproducts of influencer culture, and it needs to change. The way you handled that whole cafe situation should be beneath you, not because you're too good for it, but because you need to have some common decency. For starters, influencers who are way more prominent than you do not charge $4,000 just for an Instagram post or just for one little post on their channel. Secondly, trying to get free stuff for your friend in exchange for really no value added to that business at all is trash behavior. Now, as famous as you may be, a lot of people, their first impression of you was seeing other people comment on how you handled that situation. I saw it from Dottie Snacks. I don't know if I said his company's name right, but I saw him calling you out, and it's like, wow, this Vincent guy is a toolbox. Actually, no, tools are useful. Now, I'm nowhere near big leagues when it comes to content creation, influencing, whatever you want to call it, but I've reviewed small businesses throughout Georgia, Florida, and California. And every time I've done that, every time I've asked for permission, I never wanted anything free in advance. Not because I didn't think I was famous enough, but because I am also a business owner and came from a family of business owners, so I understand the cost of just giving something away for free. Because people like you have never ran a business before. You've never ran anything other than your mouth. And somehow that's made you a lot of money on TikTok. Also, to you and all the other influencers who lack self-awareness, instead of asking for free handouts from businesses, since content creation is your full-time business, that's how you make your money, why don't you create an LLC and save the receipts when you pay money to these places and use them as business expenses, write them off that way. Also, you shaming that cafe made me want to try them more, so if I'm ever in that area, I'm going to be supporting them, and that's going to be in spite of you.
Right, so as a small business cafe owner, as well as a full-time content creator, I think I can really speak to both sides. If you're not aware, there's a little drama between a couple content creators and a French toast place in New York. I don't want to get into the details of that specific situation, but as a content creator, I don't accept invites when restaurants reach out to come try their menu, or especially if it's a new restaurant, because I don't know if I'm gonna like it. Also, if I wanted to go, I would much rather pay and just go as a customer, because there's no pressure. Certainly wouldn't give them my paid rates over DMs, especially because I know that restaurants operate on very, very slim margins. It's not like beauty or lifestyle industry where they have massive ad spends. Most restaurants are just like barely scraping by. So if I wanted to support a small business, I would just go and spend my money. But also, as a cafe owner, if I'm inviting anyone, I'm comping their meals as well as for their +1. Obviously, you can set the scope of what the comped meal is, but the food cost for that meal or two is not a lot. So them saying they can't afford that probably means they don't want to, which is totally fair. And as a cafe owner, I would never ask for a guaranteed post from a creator, especially from a comped meal, just because you don't know if they're gonna like it either. If we're doing like a new menu drop or a new drink, I always ask for just feedback from people. And obviously if they like it, they can post about it, but there's absolutely no pressure. Because yeah, if they didn't like it, you would much rather get private feedback on what they didn't like versus them having to make their like guaranteed post. So I don't know, it just sounds like miscommunication, honestly, on both ends that probably should have stayed private. I know a lot of people are mad that, you know, the creator said that their paid rate was $4,000 for a TikTok video. I understand that seems egregious, especially at our tiny cafe location. $4,000 is 4 people busting their asses for a full 8-hour day. And in that, we only profit like 10% of that. So I know it seems insane that one creator is charging $4K for a TikTok video that's probably going to take less than 15 minutes to film, shoot, and edit. But that rate is actually quite low when it comes to other industry, like massive corporations. If that big corporation were to hire models, photographers, directors, hairstylists, makeup artists, editors, videographers for that specific campaign, it would cost them a lot more money. So when, you know, content creators are getting paid 10, 20K, 30K for a video, a lot of that spend is regarding usage rights and exclusivity, and for that big corporation to be able to pump it out as an ad. It's just a lot more efficient and cheaper for the corporation to pay influencers. So yeah, that is like an aside. I understand that it's a crazy amount, and especially coming as a cafe owner, I see it. I understand that some of these influencers, it just seems like they're entitled, and some of them really are. A lot of people like to shit on influencers, but influencing and the whole influencer industry is one of the only female-dominated industries where women make a lot more than the men. And I think that also has a big part in why people talk down on content creators and influencing so much, because it's an industry dominated by women. So I don't know, a lot of food for thought. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk.
I heard about that influencer that went to a small, I'm gonna tag them, a small locally owned business in NYC. And they reached out to him to do a collab. So when he reached out, he told them, he has under 2,000 followers. He said that in order to do a collab, it'd be $4,000 a video for the promo. And I mean a very small business. And I think they're called Brioche. And one of their best items is their French toast. And they make the bread from scratch. So they make delicious brioche bread, turn it into a phenomenal French toast. And here's the part that gets me. To be in New York City, their prices are so unreasonable. They're affordable. So this cafe reaches back out to him and says, we can't really afford $4,000. However, what we can do is give you a meal for free and a free drink for a story post. He says, well, can I get 2? Because I'm going to bring a guest. They talk it over. They say, we can't really do that. We're a small business. We make small portions, I'm guessing, is their reasoning. However, come by anytime. The influencer says, cool, I'll let you know in a day. He says, okay, yellow heart emoji. I'll be there on Saturday. He then makes a horrible post about how the food was horrible and they didn't pay him, blah, 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 blah. And the internet is eating his ass up. Let me tell you influencers something. First of all, I don't like influencers. I don't, you can't influence me to do a thing. However, no, I don't know what really gives people the right or, because I know what gives them the arrogance. I know what gives them the gall. I know what gives them the Donald Trump, stupidest student at Wharton College bravado. I know that. I know. But what I don't understand is why would you do this to small businesses? Why do y'all take it upon yourselves to not only want free food or free products from these establishments, but why do you bash them? Why bash them on the internet like that when we have receipts? Because you know there are receipts. You know that really hot brown guy that has that business? He's so hot. And he does that influencer voice. Hi, my name is Chelsea. And today we're going to go to this restaurant in Soho Village. And we're going to eat a cherry flavored lamb on it. That one. He reaches out to that business, to Brioche in New York City, and gets those receipts. Let me tell you something. If you're on here, if you're a small business here in the Tucson area, Arizona area, Southwest, wherever you are, you don't need to pay me for shit. I don't want the food for free. All you need to ask me to do is pull up. I'll do your promo for free. Just save a bitch a plate, and I'll tip you too. But one thing I will never do is bash your business when you're asking for promotion. Especially when you're asking for promotion. What does that do for y'all?
Anyway, let me know what you think about this story down in the comment section. Let me know what you think about the influencer calling out the restaurant. And do you think the way the restaurant handled it was okay? Do you think the way the influencer handled it, do you think it was okay? Love to know your own take about this conversation down in the comment section. But as always, please keep it respectful. You're on this channel. We're allowed to disagree, but we do it in a very respectful way. So go ahead, feel free, share your thoughts. Love to know what you guys think, as always. First off, 4,000 for a TikTok post? That's a lot. That's a lot. But anyway, I kind of get where the influencer is coming from and where the cafe, the restaurant is coming from. Like the other creator said, being an influencer, being a content creator, because like being a content creator, it's a very hard job, especially when you have to film a date, make things look good, and then put it out there. I understand why people would charge ridiculous amount of money, because just even filming a sit-down video like this takes a lot of work that you guys don't even understand how much work goes into it. So I would say being a content creator takes a whole lot of work to bring things out, to make it look like low effort and all that is a lot of work. Then talking about restaurant reviews and all that. See guys, I have a couple of restaurants I've been to here in Lebanon and all that, but I've not even had the time and everything just to creatively put it together. It's taxing already. So I understand why people want to get paid for their work. I'm one of those people. Like, the craft of content creation is hard work. Building a platform is hard work. I'm not even going to rubbish that at all. So I understand where an influencer or a content creator will want to charge a brand for decent amount of money. But also, I also feel like when it comes as content creator, you also need to know the brand you are, or your niche, and what you can imagine like a small cafe to pay 4,000. Do they make 4,000 in a week? In that day, would they make $4,000 that you want to charge them 4,000 for a post? And also talking about how he doesn't have that much followers, and all that. And I get followers sometimes does not really convert to your influence and how it goes. Sometimes people just genuinely just like you, but sometimes I feel like as a content creator, know the niche you're in and the brand you're working with. It's just like you want to work with a brand new company that is just starting up, a one-man show company. You don't expect that person to be able to afford what someone like Mac Cosmetics will be able to afford, or other big companies that have big budget. And the truth is that when it comes to content creation, the scope of advertisement, posting and all that, some brands has like big budgets, like they invest so much in their campaign, and like the other creator said, it makes sense for those brands to pay influencers rather than them to get a photographer, this, a that, a whole show, because those brand wants like a really high production work done for their brand. But when it comes to just something you do, the casual thing, I feel like that price was much. Then in the aspect of the, what's it called, the aspect of the restaurant, not saying no, I do appreciate the fact that the restaurant state what they can offer and what they cannot offer on the go, but the influencer went ahead to still go try them. I feel as a genuine business that just started and all that, I feel like let your work speaks for himself. And I do understand reaching out to influencers to just come try stuff out. I feel like make it very light, like, oh, you can come try stuff and all that, but also have like a peg mark on what and what. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't want, especially if you're a business that just started and you don't have that huge capital for promotion and advert for social media, just keep it really light. And like, you're invited, you can come in, you can get a discount, whatever. Just keep it really light. But I do get that entitlement thing that comes from influencers, content creators, some content creators that feel like because they have certain numbers on social media, they feel like they are entitled to certain things. I feel like the content creator shouldn't have even bothered coming online to say anything. You would have just let it go, because you went there, it didn't work out. Colors, if you want to try the food, go ahead and try the food. Like you said, the food is just $5. It's affordable. You could just try the food and do your honest review. If you like it, say it. If you don't, not. Or if you don't even want to do a review, don't. And I personally, I don't like content creators that only post because they are being paid for it. And that's why some of these big content creators, I no longer watch them, including when it comes to their vlog. I no longer watch them, because I've seen some of them, the only time they post is when they have like a collaboration, a sponsorship. That's when they will come up and make video. And this is not me bashing somebody for going on the back, but I feel like when a lot of your posts is all about the money you've gotten, I feel like the genuineness of your content is being, it's been sus at this point. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think about this conversation down in the comment section. Feel free to share your thoughts. Share this video with someone that you want to be part of the conversation, because that's what we do here. We have banging conversation, so go ahead and do that. Go on and give this video a thumbs up. Please like this video, because this helps YouTube to push up my content for more people to see, and that'll be you supporting this channel and this guy here. So go on and do that. Subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you guys in my next video. Deuces.